Wow. That ending though. Hello, welcome back to the video series dedicated to all the finals run in Herms Anus, South Africa. That's right, I'm talking about The Challenge Season 32, The Final Reckoning, Episode 20. This is it. This was over. This is the done. This is the finale. This is the ending. At the end of this, we will have one team crowned as the ultimate victor of $1 million. But before we get into that, let's start off where this finals started off, which was in a helicopter. And the first challenge was see who could get down the ladders first as a team, unless you're Hunter and you just fall back first. That could have, like, he had a safety line and he hit that ground with a kind of a thud. I was like, what are those safety lines doing if he just like fell and just hit it like that? Anyways, they didn't have a good start to it, Hunter and Ashley, but I will say that it wasn't as bad as Cara Maria and Marie. Throughout this whole thing, they had the worst team effort, teamwork, team group, team anything. They were like oil and vinegar. They are so toxic together. They came in last. Like, I did a video before this one previewing the finals, and I had them in the third tier just because of their challenge, like veteran and Cara Maria, and you can never counter out. And realistically, I was spot on, except for the last two, which was Paulie and Natalie and Cara and Marie. I had them kind of close to each other. Either one could be switched out for third and fourth, and I should have realized that Paulie and Natalie could actually work together rather than Cara Maria and Marie, because they just were bitter towards each other this whole time. They got last in every single challenge. There was no contest who was going to get last. So, spoiler alert, they got last. Paulie and Natalie did a pretty good job. They came out to an early lead. Both of them started off this one with a run, which really fell into Paulie and Joss's hands. But Paulie was thinking, if we get to this $1 million question, like of who gets to take all the money or not, I want to have the answer in my hands. I want to be in control. So he took off on Natalie, which Natalie got lost, which I blame both of them. Yes, you're a team. You should be together. And Paulie, you should be thinking of like what's happening right now. Don't think of when we get asked for the $1 million, because you might not even be asked for this $1 million, which happened this time. They came in third, but he took off. Natalie just totally ran the other way. Got a whole view of the safari. I think she just ran around in circles until she finally got back, and she got back to the end line last in the first phase. It was bad. I mean, Cara Maria and Marie got there before her, which is crazy. If I was Paulie, I would just like run with her, and then all of a sudden, if you see that finish line, you just take off. Like, you can out sprint Natalie probably. So just take off, get those few extra seconds, and then you could have it in your hand. But either way, we got to the next phase was them standing on a tiny little circle on a tower. Of course, Cara Maria and Marie fell first. They didn't even, it seemed like they didn't even get established on the tower. And then everybody else stayed on their tower for like 5 hours, weathering the weather, the wind, the rain, the cold. Cara Marie fighting so hard on the side. Like, it seemed like they were so getting along so well coming into the finals, and then to completely bottom out, it still baffles me. I don't know why I keep coming back to them every phase. But in this one, Paulie and Natalie said that they would not use their grenade on anybody who went down first. Joss and Sylvia took them up on that deal, then Hunter and Ashley, then Paulie and Natalie. Then the next morning, everybody woke up because TJ got them a breakfast of just disgusting stuff, like cow snouts, worms, just you name it. There was 19 plates. I can't name all 19 plates. And this one, if somebody gave somebody a grenade, they had to drink this nasty milkshake of, oh, it's just whatever it is. It reminded me of mossy milk, but there was an eyeball in it. Anyways, Hunter and Ashley decided to give Joss and Sylvia that grenade. And even with that, they came in second with an 11-minute time penalty because Hunter destroyed all of his plates, helped out Ashley easily. I mean, he put it somewhere else. I don't know what's going on. He says he blacks out while he's eating and it's just like, whatever. But I don't know. They showed him biting into the pig snout, just taking a little bit of it, and it was grossing me out. Of course, Cara Maria and Marie got last. Now, the next part was going to be a savannah sprint where they had to run to this, like, cave to get to their final reckoning. And Joss and Sylvia put their grenade on Hunter and Ashley, so they get to be waiting there for 10 minutes, letting their disgusting food digest while everybody takes off in a sprint. Joss and Sylvia get there first, Paulie and Natalie, Cara Maria and Marie, and then Hunter and Ashley. The edit makes it seem like it was closer than it was, but I'm sure there was a good couple of minutes in between, at least 10 minutes. Anyways, so everybody's sitting there. They have to go to this final reckoning where they have to walk across these coals. But pretty much every every challenge finals, there's one last thing that doesn't really necessarily is that hard. It's just like a symbol of like them walking through the fire or walking through the flames. Like, it's like symbolic of their journey through this challenge season. And this is it. It's just walking on coals. And if you give somebody a grenade, they have to be tied by their ankles, and they have to have a janitor's key ring, and they had to like unlock their thing before they could walk across. Of course, Paulie and Natalie know that Joss and Sylvia are like in first place, and any chance of winning this, they think they have to give it to them. Paulie is like confused because he's just like, I said on my family's grave, on my family's life, and Joss is like, yo, bruh. Family life, family life. And finally Paulie was like, you know what, we're just gonna give it to him. Which, this is the challenge. This is $1 million. Why is there a hesitation? Just do it. You say all is fair in love and war in the challenge, and if this is it for $1 million, just do it. And then Cara Marie could not even fathom being on the same page because they were gonna use it on Paulie and Natalie. Well, Marie wanted to use it, and Cara was like, no, we're not gonna do it. So their grenade is a dud, just like the one in Captain America where he like jumps on it before he gets all buff and stuff. Anyways, so everybody walks across easily. Joss and Sylvia get their chains off. It was a big waste of time like Sylvia was crying, Joss was even crying. Like, it was just a big waste of time. It was like people walked across, and then like in what seemed like 2 minutes, they found the key and was like, oh, just run across. So we finally get to the ending where we get to figure out who is where and what they do. 4th place, Cara Maria and Marie, duh. Paulie and Natalie got in 3rd. 2nd place was Joss and Sylvia by only a couple of seconds. It was like 40 seconds or whatever. The top 3 teams were like split in like 2 minutes. There was 2 minutes dividing them, and Cara Maria. So if there was a graph, it would be here's the 3 teams, and then here's Cara Maria and Marie, all the way down here. Well, so Hunter and Ashley won. In my other video, I said they were my favorite to win, and they won. Just like almost everything that I thought and put in that video, it happened. Which I was super excited that I kind of know what all these people are. Also, this was a challenge that didn't have a lot of finals challenge experience. You had Ashley and Cara, who have been to a finals before and won, where everyone else was really new to this and didn't know what was going on, really all the other styles. So I think that played a huge part in it, and Hunter's just a beast. So we finally get to it. Hunter and Ashley win. They figure out who has the choice to take all the $1 million if they want to or not, and it comes down to Ashley just, I guess, sprinted better. Hunter hasn't done his cardio as much as he could have, and Ashley actually gets the choice whether to take all the money and run or get to split it with the partner. We've seen this before in Rivals where Johnny took all the money from Sarah, and I mean, he's lived in infamy. I mean, he has a great resume with like 6 challenge wins, which is fantastic. But when you think of Giant Bananas and you bring up Giant Bananas, your mind automatically goes to that scene of him taking all the money from Sarah. So with this, he was a little bit more eloquent in his words. Ashley just rattles off a whole bunch of reasons why she's taking the money, and she just took it, which sends Hunter into a fizzy. He's running around, he's yelling for his sneakers, he's walking past Sylvia and Joss, who are crying, which which was funny to look at Joss and Sylvia crying because they're crying because they were so close to winning. But then you have Hunter over here, and he just got $500,000 taken away from him by his partner, and you're just sitting there going like, I get that you were close, but there's like more a precedent over here. There's a guy, the priorities of people right now. I want to see Hunter flipping out because he just actually lost. He actually had $500,000 in his hand, and then it was taken from him. Whereas Joss and Sylvia didn't really have anything in their hands. It just was kind of just up in the air kind of thing. But Ashley wanted to say it was because of slut shaming, it was because of all the names he was calling her and how mean he was, which we saw some of that, and they were actually replaying it in there. But in my opinion, if I had to bet on who would take all the $1 million, Ashley was the #1 suspect in my book of taking all the money for herself, no matter what. I just think with all the stuff that Hunter was doing and all the footage that they showed of Hunter was just the bullet that she needed to pull the trigger. Because, I mean, just think about this, guys. Johnny Bananas took it so long ago, but that's where your mind goes to when you think of him, is that he took $275,000, and that's only $275,000. She took a whole $1 million for herself. I think she's the #1 money grabber now, because I think Johnny said that he's almost at $1 million, and now Ashley's well over $1 million with only 2 wins. So I think she just solidified herself in Challenge Hall of Infamy and Fame, and it was a wild ride at the end. I thought this Challenge Finals was a little bit tame, a little bit mild. Nobody was like really gasping, nobody was really hurting, they didn't show too much, like, I don't know, it didn't have the palpability like, say, when Sarah and Jordan won, or Johnny and Camilla when they won, when they were going up the mountains and they had all this stuff, and they were, or when when Zach was down, when he had Laurel on his team and he was like yelling because he had a cramp, or CT when he was down on the ground and DM was having to like actually drag him up. We didn't see too much from the teams. It was more like, it was more just like sprinting, and everybody seemed good in cardio, good enough to stay up, and they didn't show any of that. So to me it felt like more of a mild type of challenge than what we're used to, where people are like on the ground grabbing their sides, can't eat everything. It just it just didn't have the weight as it used to. But hey, that's just my opinion. What did you think about this finale? Do you think it was just as good? It's one for the books, it's in the top 5 of Challenge Finals of all time? Or are you just saying, it's a thing, it happened? Or are you in the middle? Let me know in the comment section below. What did you think about the winners? What did you think about Cara and Marie just fighting? What did you just think of this whole season in general? Let me know in the comment section below. And thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this whole season. I had a blast talking about it. And I'll be back next week with the reunion, maybe, possibly. We'll see how it goes, and I'll see if it's worthy of a video. But thank you for watching, and hit subscribe, like, and everything, and I'll see you next time. Peace!